Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank all of you for being here today. And I want to say, in the past 2 years, I've spent a good deal of time in front of this committee discussing the horrific murders of the veterans that took place at the Clarksburg VA, and I think you all know about that. I'm proud of the work colleagues, all of you, Mr. Chairman, and all of you have done in helping us fix the specific problems in Clarksburg VA that led to those murders and help prevent them anywhere else in the country. I've worked to pass legislation to install security cameras, fix shortcomings in staff training, and accountability standards, and give the VA Office of Inspector General the authority it needs to conduct the investigations. These are all important steps, but I think there's so much more that we need to do. And I've got 2 pieces of legislation which I think would help you all be able to do the job that you need to do. And I think we spoke to that again. So I want to thank the chairman and ranking member and the committee for helping improve the quality of service that our veterans receive. The one, Mr. Wilbur, that you know we're talking about was it's a sobering look at the issues that the VA and your office investigates on a daily basis. The issues you spoke of with hiring practices and quality of care in North Carolina and Mississippi sound eerily similar to those we experienced in West Virginia. Unfortunately, that confirms my fears that failures led to the veterans being murdered in West Virginia are indicative of systematic VA failures everywhere. So I would ask Chairman Tester, I'll be working on scheduling a VA patient safety oversight hearing in the very near future. I would ask if you would help us set that up, if we could, because there's some things I think that it can be brought to light that would help us very much as far as getting to the crux of what our problems would be. We have a piece of legislation that allows you all to subpoena, which I believe that you all have asked for or felt it would be very helpful in getting to the crux. Tell you what happened in Clarksburg. When it came time to really get into it, we couldn't get the person who had basically taken either retirement or ran for the hills. Literally in West Virginia, you can run for the hills, and we can't find you. But anyway, he was gone. Had no way of bringing him back. So if you would comment on that, Mr. Wilbur, on how that might be of help to you.
Yes, sir, and thanks. I'd like to express my condolences once again for the families in Clarksburg, to the veterans and their loved ones. Yes, as you described, is what occurred when we were conducting our healthcare inspection following our criminal investigation in Clarksburg. A key individual who was responsible for both sort of the review of the credentials of.
That was a risk manager, I believe. Does every hospital have a risk manager?
I wouldn't want to answer that question, sir. I think it is an important role for each hospital, but I don't want to say that each hospital, in fact, does have one.
Well, that was the risk manager we were trying to get to testify, and I believe the person was gone.
And that person left during the course of the investigation. And so, yes, testimonial subpoena authority would be important to our ability to then reach out to someone like that, serve them with the subpoena, require them to talk to us. And again, and this is in advance of our oversight of VA. And so this isn't a criminal investigation of that person. This isn't about putting that person in jail. This is about getting critical information from that person so that we understand what happened, we understand the root causes of the problem that occurred in Clarksburg, and can allow us to make recommendations to the department on how to fix it.
Senator Tester, you and Senator Bozeman are both on that bill, and I want to thank you for that. But, and also, I have one more. Ms. Ogilvie, if you will. I introduced Senate Bill 2687, strengthening the Oversight for Veterans Act of 2021, again with Chairman Tester and Bozeman, to give the authority to subpoena. And on that there, so my question would be, what more can we do to hold these employees responsible for failures that happen at the VA so that the veterans can build the trust back to the VAs that we need? Is there more that we can be done? We're trying to get the information, but is there something more that we can do to give you all the ability and the power that you need and to prevent this from ever happening? Let me ask you, I'll follow up on another question on that so I can give you 2 for 1. We're continuing to pay out retirement and benefits to employees like those in Clarksburg. I can't believe that. They're getting full benefits. And these are people we know committed horrific crimes. But it couldn't be proven, I guess, but we know that. But is there anything we can do that would prevent that from happening?
So I would honestly defer to OIG for his comments, but I do agree that the subpoena power and the ability to hold people accountable and be able to get the witnesses that we need to follow through on the investigation that we're doing is something that is of critical importance. So that's all I would say from my perspective, but I'm not sure if Mr. Wilbur wants
I
to.
know my
weigh in.
time's running out, Ms. Wilbur, but if you have any comments to that, I appreciate it.
Well, with respect to the benefits for individuals who have left VA, if those individuals have been convicted of a crime, then the ability for the VA to reduce their benefits, I do understand it exists. But for those individuals, like if you mean somebody like the risk manager who left VA employee, that person has gone without any disciplinary action against them, and now that they're out of federal service.
Let me ask you this, hypothetically, if we'd have been able to subpoena that person and bring him back and found out derelict of duty, that they weren't overseeing, they weren't monitoring or watching, and they could have maybe prevented that. If we could have proven that and shown that in the subpoena power that you would have now, would that be able to reverse their retirement and pensions?
No, sir, I don't believe it would.
Oh, boy.
Senator Rounds.